new is not always better. And in the case of this Sideshow premium format Wonder Woman statue, I must say, yeah, I kinda agree. Welcome everyone from What's on the Table. This is Prof G and you are watching another episode of Graded, the show wherein we're not just going to unbox or review a particular statue, collectible, or figure. We are actually going to give it a grade at the end of each video. So for this episode, we are going to grade the 1/4 scale Sideshow premium format statue, Wonder Woman Saving the Day. Released just this 2024, this Wonder Woman Saving the Day statue is one of those announcements where, at first glance, you could possibly say that this is the perfect Wonder Woman statue for your DC collection. Think about it. They recently released the Batman Dark Knight Returns, and the Superman 2024 premium format statue was just open for pre-order. However, we did have other premium format Wonder Woman statues from the past that I can safely say still fits the current quality of releases in the market today. I actually own one of them, and that piece will be graded eventually as well. But let's look into this 2024 release of Wonder Woman of Sideshow and really see if it's actually at par with the previous releases of statues. But I gotta tell you this early on in the video, as good as this looks, new is not necessarily always better. Like always, before we begin, I just want to say a big thank you to Mike of MG Toys and Collectibles for securing me this statue and giving me a great deal. Priced at roughly $650, I got this from his store for only 39,000 pesos, which I think is a very fair price. Thanks Mike, let's begin. As you can see, you have the art box of the Sideshow premium format statue Wonder Woman Saving the Day in front of you, and it's just, a normal looking art box. It's decent, nothing special, but overall, a good looking art box. But I gotta say, at first when we were setting this up, I just felt like the box was unusually heavy, and in my experience, the female sculpts or female characters usually weigh less. But wait for a little bit, as I was very shocked to find out as to why this statue is actually heavier than usual. And no, the placement of the weight did not actually make sense. Here you can see the different parts of the statue, and there are only a few pieces. When I picked up the body of Wonder Woman, I was actually really surprised as the piece was kinda light. So light that you could tell that it's much more hollow than usual. You have other pieces like the bullet sparks, her arms, her lasso, and other small parts that is meant to be attached to the base. But when I picked up the base, I realized that all that heavy weight was placed on that piece. I don't get it. It's a decent looking base, but don't get me wrong, I don't remember the other Sideshow bases to be this heavy and the actual statue to be too light. But hey guys, that's just my first impression. It was just kind of surprising. We can move on to the actual assembly of this statue. Very minimal pieces, and the assembly is pretty much easy as all the pegs and slots are color coded for you. But man, at this point, I couldn't get over the fact that the only reason why this piece was heavy was because of the base. But you know what? It's too early to complain. Let's see how it looks like when it's fully assembled. My collector friends, this is the 1/4 scale Sideshow premium format statue, Wonder Woman Saving the Day. Now you might be asking, if you already have a Wonder Woman premium format purchase from before, why are you grading another one right now? Good question guys, and to answer that, well, I have no answer. It's like asking me why I keep on buying Batman statues if I already have like 5 other Batman statues from before. Well, in my head, I always think that new can potentially be better than the previous releases. But looking at this right now, I can honestly say, well, it's not always the case. Now, I hope you don't misunderstand this. It's not like it's a bad looking piece. Objectively, if you forget about why the character itself has a much more hollow body and the base is way too heavy, looking at it, it actually looks good. I can see why a lot of people are actually getting this version, as it is the freshest release in the market today. So it all boils down to preference. Guys, I get it. It looks great. But let's dissect the statue one by one. First, the base. The heavy base that comes with it. This one I can definitely appreciate, as it kind of gives you a little bit of backstory on the actual design of the statue. What story? Well, at first I didn't really know. But after reading the description from the Sideshow website, the base is actually a big piece from a bank vault. And that's when I got the aha moment. Good looking base and shading, kinda heavy, but well designed nevertheless. Second, the body. For now, let's forget about my comment a while ago that the body feels so light and obviously feels much more hollow inside. Looking at it, I can definitely appreciate the paint job that they did on this statue. Not a lot of shading on the exposed body parts, so she looks pretty clean considering she's battling a bunch of bank robbers. But what it lacked in shading on the exposed body parts, they did justice when they played around with a lot of textures on her armor. From her boots, shin guards, her skirt, which mimics the texture of the leather material. Although, I can appreciate that it is sculpted, since I remember the previous version was made out of plastic rubber. Her upper body torso armor with that smooth, vibrant red color, and a lot of its gold pieces. So all in all, I have no complaints with the paint job, the pose, and the overall look of the design. I mean, if you think about Wonder Woman, this pose right here is pretty much her calling card. The face and head sculpt. Now let's start with the good points. The way they did the flowing hair is pretty good, and I can imagine how challenging that could be to sculpt. Kinda scary though if you're not too careful, as I have experienced before from my previous statues, these actually break. Now if you move on to the portrait itself, this is where it gets tricky. See, when I saw the promotional material, I really loved the facial expression drama of the piece. She looks fierce, and those eyes, man, captivating, serious, and just filled with drama. Now I don't know if it's because of the lighting on their studio when they shot these promotional materials, but when I saw mine, I don't know if I'm tripping or she actually looks like she's tired or sleep deprived. I mean, the eye makeup on the promo material is much heavier and it actually looked great. Or maybe it's just the editing on the photo, I don't know. It was the selling point of the piece for me, but on the production piece, that shading on the eye makeup is kinda lacking. So instead of it looking like heavy eye makeup, it kind of looked like, deep tired eyes. Now this version, she has a softer look too also, compared to the previous releases of Wonder Woman. Now Sideshow is not at fault on this. This is not a knock on Sideshow, not at all. But you know what? Let's just all manage our expectations. So let's look at it overall. You know what? I can see the appeal of this statue design, especially when you place it with your other 1/4 scale statues. Now, if you combine it with the Batman Dark Knight Returns and the upcoming Superman, all of them have dynamic poses. And the poses of the three are actually iconic poses of the characters. So yes, I can say that those three designs are kind of like the new Trinity badge for the DC Sideshow Premium Format statues. Now, I know I have said some not so favorable points about this statue, but it's probably my fault, as I just didn't manage my expectations very well. All in all, this statue looks great and it's going to be a decent addition to your display shelves. But to answer the question if the new statue is actually better than the first ones, well, from my point of view and preference, I still like the previous versions of Wonder Woman. Specifically the one that they released last 2021. I think that version right there looks and feels much more powerful, if I can say that term to describe it. Her face sculpt is much more chiseled and it gives you much more of that Amazon vibe. You can see more definition on her muscles as it has more shading. But I'm gonna say all of that on its very own episode, which will be released later on. Having said that, for this 1/4 scale Sideshow Premium Format statue Wonder Woman saving the day, with its design, its iconic pose, and the price that I got it for, I am gonna give it a grade of 7.6. Still a solid grade if you ask me, although it's not my favorite depiction of Wonder Woman. I can understand why a lot of people favor this statue design. The pose alone with her arms crossed, deflecting bullets using her wrist armors, is enough to say that it's the iconic Wonder Woman look. So that in itself is already a good reason for statue collectors to consider this piece. Thanks guys for watching another episode of Graded. If you like this video, please give me a solid by subscribing to the channel and turning on the notification bell. Or just give me a shout at the comment section below. If you own the Wonder Woman Saving the Day Premium Format statue and would give a different grade, please let me know in the comment section below. Thanks guys, this is Prof G and you just watched another episode of Graded. See you all on the next one.